Chapter 18, My Life, My Choice. I sat at the first stool, closest to the backyard. My mother sat at the far stool next to the round counter. My brother avoided eye contact for some reason as he sat in the middle of us, where he kept checking his phone. And my father, he stood with his arms crossed in front of all three, leaving one seat unoccupied. He sighed and closed his eyes and took in a deep breath. When he opened his eyes, he let out the breath and dropped his arms. He looked like something I was not used to, something I'm afraid to admit I'm scared of. Look, the arrangement with Kohai and his father is off, so you can stop worrying about that, he said, but it did not sound like him. It was his voice, and yet it did not sound a thing like him. He must have seen my discomfort because he straightened his posture, but as I look more deeply into the details, using the character my mother so graciously gave me, I saw it was more than just me being uncomfortable. It was my father, Gakuho himself, who was afraid of acting like he did just now. I wanted to text Nagisa. I wanted to ask him if he was alright, if he had yet to treat the wound he had sustained. Ice might have worked for treating the pain tonight, but it looked really bad. Of course, I was not able to analyze it up close last night, but I could tell how bad it was by the sound that made it. Just thinking about last night made my stomach turn. I made the movement to touch my lips, where Nagisa's had been. I caught myself halfway and looked up. School ended, and right when I arrived home, my father called everyone in. "This is completely ridiculous," my mother yelled. "Why is the arrangement over? What exactly happened?" Gakushu looked away from his phone for a mere moment. I, for once in my life, actually forgot how cruel and cunning my mother was. Reality thought it'd give me a break, and this was it pulling me back into itself. I stand my ground. It's now or never. I know that. I stood and said, because I don't love him. I don't even like him. In fact, if I feel anything towards Kohai, it's resentment. Every face in the room widened. I know why they are so surprised. Unlike Gakushu, I never spoke out of turn or rebelled against my parents. But this is something, maybe even the only thing, I will not back down about. Not if I want it as badly as I hope I do. The lions seemed to back down at my words. It may have also been the confident stare and determined aura that surrounded me. My brother doesn't even want to talk to me. He won't look me in the eye, and that tells me I am as scary as I feel. This is good. I can get somewhere with this. I won't get married. I do not like that boy. He's an incompetent, unnecessary attribute to myself. But if you want me to get married, I'll surely do so, on my own. I left to my room. Gakushu followed, leaving my parents to bicker among themselves. "Are you moving back to A class?" I jumped at his voice. He seemed so small in the kitchen, so fearful of me. Did my expression change? Is that why he sounded so calm? No. I shifted, uncomfortably cutting myself off, debating how I should go about the situation. I, of course, must play it off, change the subject without making it obvious. "I don't know. You're still studying, right? For the midterm exam." He scoffed as if I'd been playing dumb. "Everyone in A class has been studying like crazy. Of course I have." "Just wanted to make sure." I winked at him, then made a clean getaway into my room. My own personal cocoon. I went face first into my sheets and laid there for a couple of seconds before deciding I wanted to call Nagisa. I always did. Why was I surprised about it now? Kohai was out of the picture, and I didn't even need to intervene on purpose. And my brother had a crush on my best friend. Again, my actions not being significant. I should be happy. In fact, I should be thrilled. But all I was right now was stuck. I did not want to be in this house right at this moment, and the people in it want absolutely nothing to do with. The person who was responsible for this feeling of stuckness was the person I wanted to call. I wanted to do more than call him, though. I wanted to hang out with him, so I would. Nagisa, hey, I didn't know if you'd pick up, so I decided texting you was the winning option. I know you'll see this, so 5 o'clock, Red Heart Theater, be on time. That should help. It was only 3:59, almost 4. It took about 15 minutes to get me and get home. Then we had that awkward standoff in the kitchen for a few minutes, and I had wasted the other debating between myself if I should text or call Nagisa, which wasn't a big deal in the end, and then I felt stupid for another couple of minutes, even thinking it was a big decision. In the end, I obviously smacked my delusional self across the face and just sent the text. I got dressed and checked my phone. Just as I suspected, Nagisa saw the message. He, however, did not respond, but I did not think much of it. I had a date to get ready for. That much I knew. Hey, knew you'd be here. What can I say? He sighed with a smile, one that made my heart drop to my feet. Maybe because I wasn't as confident as I had pretended to be back at the house. Well, it's too late to back out now. Nothing, no one can resist me, I stated. So prideful. He shook his head with a lopsided smile that fit him just perfectly. Always, I smirked, then grabbed his hand and tugged him along. Come on, the movie starts in 45 minutes. Well, then that gives us about an hour. He turned to me with a big goofy smile and reminded me, the ads. How could I forget? I joked. We bought our tickets and then we waited in line until we got to the front. Nagisa insisted on paying for all our snacks. We only had a few things, so I let it slide, just this once. The movie was about to begin, well, the ads, but I wanted to use the restroom before, so I walked with Nagisa to the seats, then told him I wanted to use the toilet before, so I didn't go in the middle. He told me I better hurry up if I didn't want him to eat all our items. Like his tiny body could handle most of what I got. I'm just saying, there are rumors of what really happened to Akari Yukimura, you know, like why she stopped acting. So what? There's no way I'm changing my opinion. She's still my favorite actor and always will be. My heart dropped at the mention of that name, and at first I couldn't pinpoint why, and continued washing my hands. But the more they talked, I began to make my connection to Akari Yukimura. I walked out and back into the auditorium full of people. The ads were coming to an end. I decided to enjoy this time with Nagisa. Who knows when I'll get another just like it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. My voice got a little cranky, maybe because I gave a presentation at church today, but it wasn't even that long, so I don't really know why it's cranky. Maybe it's because I haven't been talking all day, and that's why. Or is it supposed to be the other way around? I'm a little dumb. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy. This is the second to last chapter. I wrote the last chapter last night, I think. Or maybe it was 2 nights ago. I don't really remember. But all I know is I wrote the last chapter. So yeah, we'll finish it this week if you want. So comment that down below. Or we'll finish it next week. Anyways, leave your opinion in the comments below. I'm gonna go edit this, which actually happens to be not that much. Anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye, loves.